Well, what's going on, everybody? So I just recently finished up my my Ram ProMaster camper conversion, and I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at what I've done. So first off, we just got a kind of a generic butcher block countertop, and then a sink from Amazon. And then I made this little shelving spice rack sort of thing out of some old cedar fencing that I had laying around. And then with this guy here, this was just a cabinet that I got from the Habitat for Humanity. And basically I just kind of roughed up the front drawers and then just cladded everything with cedar on the outside. And the cabinets are also all handmade. Those were also just like 1/2-inch plywood, and then I just cladded it with some cedar tongue and groove. I really like the way it turned out, especially with the underglow of the LED lights. Let me show you what I'm doing with the gray water. I just basically got a little, I think it's a 5-gallon jug that I have load strapped to the cabinet. When you want to remove it, you just loosen this up, and then this pops off and just slides over. On the other side, we have the propane cooktop, and it's a pretty generic Amazon buy as well. If we go underneath and open these cabinets, which are also Habitat for Humanity Restore purchase that I cladded with cedar yet again. Underneath here you have the gas shutoff, and then also the electrical shutoff for the stove. All right, so here is the living room. Pretty straightforward. I just got 2 benches on either side, and a nice little recess in the side wall for a TV. Of course, we need a table, so here's how I do that. Take this off. This goes onto the other side, and then you kind of just make like an oversized couch on this wall, and then the kitchen table is right here. And there you go. You got a perfect little kitchen table, and you know, it's right there with the TV if you need it. Behind the table, there's just some random storage. So I have my shore power cable, and then you can throw blankets or pans or something back there. Not sure quite yet what I'm going to do with it, but I'm sure it'll come up soon. Underneath this board, this just pops up. We have our propane, easy access, pull it right out, and then there's a vent underneath as well for this guy. Just throw that back on. And then throughout the van, there is 120 volt outlets. So there's one here, and then one in a GFI in the kitchen. I do have a solar panel up above. It's a 200 watt Renogy solar panel. So let me show you the electronics for that, along with the rest of the van. I'm gonna throw these back over here. That pops up, and then we have all our electronics nicely tucked away in there. So just a really quick overview of what we got going on. Got all our DC stuff over here, and then we just have our AC panel over there. We got our 3 main shutoffs. This is for the battery, this is for the solar panel, and then this is for the alternator. Here we have a 2000 watt inverter charger, and this is really cool because as soon as you plug in shore power, it switches immediately to that, and also charges up the battery. That was a function I really wanted, and that's why I chose the Victron. Here's our DC to DC charger. This is for the alternator, and then we got our charge controller for the solar. We kept all the manuals and stuff. And we have our AC panel. This is our shore power shutoff, and then our outlets 20 amp breaker. If we open this up, our battery is hiding inside of there. There's enough room to shove another one in there, so I might be doing that pretty soon. And then underneath this other one, we just have kind of like an easy access to our 20-gallon water tank. We have a little shut off, and then more access. This is our pump electrical shut off, and the pump itself. Okay, now let me show you my favorite aspect of this van, and that is the bed. If you didn't notice already, the bed is actually stowed right now on the ceiling so that we had access to our living room. And it's on a little crank system, which is super cool, and it allows me to have a lot more space. now check it out, we have a bed. And it lines up just about perfect with the TV too. So here I am, I'm 6'1", I'm on this bed. The bed itself is just 6 inches of memory foam, and I just had to cut it to length. And yeah, one thing I regret is I have a recess for the TV, but for whatever reason, I didn't put a recess on the other side, and I really wish I did that. I suppose I still could, but it's just a lot of work. So one thing you may have noticed is that when the bed is unstowed, the lights in the ceiling actually turn on, and then the lights that are recessed in the top of the bed turn off. And that's because of this, I have this little switch here. Once it makes contact with the bench right here, it swaps a connection between the back 4 lights in the ceiling and then these 4 lights that are in the bed. Basically I put that in so that when the bed is down and you have the lights on, you're not shining unnecessary light into nothing and maybe even causing a fire hazard. So the bed itself rides on these 4 rails that I have in each side of the wall. Hidden inside of there, there's a little pulley and then some nylon rope going all the way down through the bottom of the bed. And then that rope goes all the way to our little ratchet mechanism, and then it goes through a shaft that goes to the other side. The ratchet mechanism itself is custom made, and then I welded a little socket on here. I think it's 5/8. I made this little handle for it that just fits right in there. This was actually a paintbrush, and so down is to go up is to go down. So let's just crank it a couple times. So there you can see the rope is kind of coiling it up. And then at the bottom of each rail where the rope terminates, I have a turnbuckle connected to a little easy connect. So each corner has one. And so if you see a corner drooping, you just kind of go in there with some pliers and tighten it. And so one thing is, since I have this kitchen table here, it's actually proud of the bench, which makes this side shorter. And so I just have little door bumpers on these 2 corners, and that kind of equals out the slope. Well guys, I think that is pretty much it for the van. One thing that's pretty obvious that I didn't show is a toilet. I'm not really sure what to do with that yet. And then also a heater, which I don't have. I just kind of been turning this on when I'm cold and then peeking the door open like this. So if you like the van or you have questions about it, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.